We are now live, folks. So, what's up? So, as I said, welcome firstly for people who are joining us live. My name is Zain. Today, we are holding this special session with our speaking batch. And the reason for this special session is because today is English Day and we wanted to do something different and, of course, let everybody know how much fun we have in the sessions and what we're doing. So, I wanted to start this session firstly with the story, as I mentioned, regarding Rumi, folks. So Rumi, Ramnit, as you were mentioning, Rumi had a very different childhood, as you know what the history books mention him, and he was a person who was, of course, very rich, but he was constrained behind in his walls at his home, and he didn't get access to a lot of stuff. He didn't know what poverty is, what pain is, what other things really mean in terms of miserable things, which were happening at that particular point of time. So Husam, in Morocco, do we have some Sufi practices? Like, have you heard about some Sufi practice? Turkey, I know, is great in that, but Morocco has something of it.
Uh, it's, I didn't think so. Like, it's
Okay,
good. I didn't think so would happen.
nothing of that sort. He wasn't Moroccan for sure, but what Rumi was doing, so just to continue, Rumi was again constrained by his family behind the walls, and Ramnit similarly to like like he was Gautam Buddha was also raised like this. Yes, all these people who have who we see as saints and as prophets, and of course they have a very different childhood. They've had a very different experience while they were growing up. Because there's a saying, Ramnit, I think you know this because you're a mother now, that until the eight years, the first 8 years of your life are the most crucial years because your child is learning everything in those 8 years.
Specifically now, it's like I'm working hard on him for his first 2 years because his brain is still developing. So I
Right.
want him to learn each and everything. Whatever I can teach him, I'm trying hard. Let's see.
Yeah, so just to back to the story, so Ramni, just like who hasn't had a lot of different exposures, but you've had your own level of exposure and you're great in it. But similarly was Rumi. Okay, so he had he didn't have a lot of experience, but after once he grew up, I think when he was almost adult, he moved out of his house and he was completely surprised, to see that people also feel there is poverty. Number one, there is people in pain
Pain.
and
Yeah.
there are people who are suffering, there are people who have so many different problems because for him his world was all that royalty which he inside the house, with so many people being there to take care of him, and so many different in terms of the atmosphere, it was so different, right? So
Yeah.
at the end, what I want to just tell you in a nutshell is that sometimes what we experience is our reality, folks, and we don't
Yeah.
know what the reality is after what we have experienced. So of course, I think right now, like me and Vikas and Isha again, because she's passing through this COVID, and Vikas because he's far away because of his family and he's seeing his people suffer. Me too. I'm also on the same
Yeah.
boat. So now we get to know and we experience that really, things are bad, and we must take care of our health instead of putting our health in somebody else's hand. That was the moral of the story. So instead of just focusing on what we know, we must also focus on what we don't know, and when we combine both of these things together, that's a good way of how things can be. So with this
Yeah.
note, we'll jump on to our regular practice as we do.
Yeah.
All of you have read in the scripts. So how can we divide? So we have two and two, right? So maybe we can have Ramneet and Husam as one because Vikas was there last time, and we'll have Isha and Vikas in the second, okay? And we'll keep on asking you questions. But Husam and Ramneet will be the first authors of this because you anyway have the speech. So we'll be answering you questions, Isha and Vikas, okay? At the meanwhile, you already know the instructions, right, Isha, Vikas? You're aware of how this is to be done.
Yes. So
Ramneet
just
has some
want to
question,
tell you,
please.
right?
Ramneet, sorry, can you repeat yourself?
No, I said I received one document with the one conversation.
Yes.
You are saying two conversations. Am
No.
I missing out on
No, no,
something?
no.
Then?
You're not missing. I'm saying that is the exact conversation, but the dialogue will be exchanged
Two
between
parts.
Husam and you. Okay, we will not divide it.
Perfect. Yeah.
We will let you
Okay.
and Husam complete it, but Isha and
Okay.
Vikas will just answer us on the questions part. Okay, so their concentration, Isha, Vikas is, I think, is some internet disconnection. Vikas will be back, but Isha, you're here, right? So while they're speaking, please try to take note of emotive expressions, as I mentioned before. Okay, and I will also try and share the answer sheet if we have enough time. Otherwise, I will email it to you. Okay, everything is ready this time. So let's jump. Yes, Husam. Yes. So you were John? No, no, it's the new one. Sorry, it's not. Yeah, it's Ron, right? Today, not John. Ron and Mary. Yeah. So Husam is Ron today, and Mary is Ramneet. Ramneet is getting good, all fancy names every day. Oh, you don't have? Okay. Sorry, Isha, what are you saying, buddy? You want to be Ron? Okay. All right. So, all right. Fair enough. Let the ladies be the dialogue players for today. Then, Husam, I'll email it to you. But Husam and Vikas, okay, before, just to clear the air, as you know, as the instruction should be very clear, we're going to focus on emotive expressions in the first part. Small answers and big answers. Okay, so don't keep on listening to all the different things. Maybe keep your pen and paper handy and try to write down whenever you think an emotive expression is expressed by Isha and Ramneet. And Isha and Ramneet, when you're expressing something which you think conveys a feeling or an emotion, please do try to put some more intonation on it. Okay, all right, so that the dialogue delivery is intact. All right, folks, so good to go, everybody. Thumbs up. Everybody ready? All right. So let's go.
So I have to speak this Ron or Mary, or we have to.
No, no. We'll assume that, right? We already know that you are Ron in this dialogue play, and Mary would be Ramneet. Okay. Let's go.
It feels so cold. Oh, it feels so cold this morning. It sure is. Early this morning, my car's windshield was covered with frost. I had to spray it with water before I could head to school. Who would have thought it could be this cold in early December, especially in California? I know the temperature was 35 degrees Fahrenheit when I woke up on this morning. I was freezing, but as soon as I got out of the bed, the cold weather just hit me by surprise. Can it was this cold in early December? Brace yourself for the rain this afternoon. Cold and wet. Yeah. It's going to rain this afternoon. Not only this afternoon, but also the rest of the week. Oh, it is going to be miserable. I have a full class schedule today and tomorrow. Walk from class to class, I will have to juggle my books and umbrella, trying not to get wet. You carry too many books. Why don't you leave some of them in your locker? My locker is a long way from my English classroom. This is the reason why I carry all my books with me. Is it going to rain hard or just drizzle? The news said that it would drizzle to around noon, and then it would rain really hard by 3 o'clock. No hope for better weather this week. There is a slight chance of sunshine. What am I saying? Sorry. There is a slim chance of sunshine by Saturday. However, it will be foggy, windy, and rainy before the sun comes out this weekend. I'm glad that it rains, even though I do not like rainy weather. We have a very dry season so far this year. Yes, I can hardly remember when it rained last time. Well, as long as there is no thunder or lightning, I can bear it. We rarely have thunder or lightning in California. We are very lucky that California has one of the best weather conditions in America. When it is hot, it is not humid. When it rains, there is no thunder or lightning. And the cold weather during the winter season is quite mild as compared to the weather of the other states. Yes, we are lucky. However, sometimes when I look at the Christmas pictures, I just wish we had some snow. It looks so pretty when everything is covered by a blanket of pure white snow. Living in Southern California all my life, I have never seen snow. I would not mind playing in snow once a while. Yes, it would be fun to make a snowman or go skiing. I am missing on beach. Then I'll have to take
Mm-hmm.
a break.
All right. Okay. It's
My page is
living in South California. Yes, would be fun. Maybe we should plan a trip to Aspen.
it's a network issue. I
Okay.
missed.
No problem. Take a little break and, get back on it.
So sorry, so sorry
No
for that.
problem. No problem. So in the meanwhile, a quick
Yeah,
thing. Okay, you're ready.
perfect.
All right. Let's move first.
Yeah. Living in Southern California all my life, I have never seen snow. I wouldn't mind playing in the snow once in a while. Yes, it would be fun to make a snowman or go skiing. We have never seen snow. We have never made a snowman. And we have never gone skiing. We better do something about this. Maybe we should plan a trip to Aspen, Colorado during winter break. I have heard that the skiing season is fantastic up there. I don't think we can afford a trip to Aspen. It's very expensive up there. I'm just wishing I know what I will be doing during winter break. I will be working very hard to save money for a new car. With the cars we drive, it's better we live in a place where there is no snow. You're right, we are better off with no snow. Okay, I have class right now. See you later in the library. See you later.
All right. Well done, Mary and John. Okay. So first thing, this
So sorry
was
for the trouble, guys.
no problem at
Yeah,
all. No problem at all.
yeah.
But one thing that I was just observing, especially from your front, Isha, when you're, for example, ending something, okay, when you're trying to show excitement, for example, your new car, okay. So when you're mentioning about your new car, there should be that level of excitement in your voice, right? Oh, I'm about to get my new car, right? Or so that would, of course, take your speech above in terms of the fluency levels. And one more thing that I noticed from Isha was when you were pronouncing the word cannot. Can you repeat after me? Cannot. Cannot, right? So focus on it, all right? Because you're saying something, you're denying something to do. You're saying, can we do this? No, we cannot do this. Okay? So put that level of intonation focus on it too. Otherwise, very well done. Okay? Good, Isha. And for you, Ramneet, everything was fair. I like your delivery, but you know this, you were adding words.
Yeah, I was adding
Okay?
words.
So, but was added.
I was changing. I was not just adding. I was changing them as well. I was going to change the verb, and then I stopped myself. I was like, I can't change the verb here.
Right. So it happens sometimes, even when we are reading, even when a script is provided. So all this is your anxiousness in some way, or maybe your something is there, okay, which is just
In your
acting up
head, going on.
in your head, which is going on, right? So maybe you have some other thing, or some, I don't know, the gut mind hypothesis. We've talked about it.
Yeah, yeah.
So something in between that. But overall, well done, Ramneet, from your end too. Okay. Now we're going to jump into the questions and let Husam and Vikas participate in this.
Yeah.
So we'll begin with Vikas first. Okay. Emotive expressions, Vikas. Can you help us identify just two emotive expressions that you could identify? Yes, Vikas, if you can help us identify two emotive expressions.
Yeah, the first one is the cold,
Okay.
and the second one is she just need to clean the windshield early in the morning and spray the water.
Spray the water. Okay. First one, I agree. It feels so cold. That is an emotive expression. All right. Good. Anything else, Vikas, that you can see on your script if you read it now?
Okay, and the second one is the wrong ones. Like he has a class schedule today and the tomorrow morning, and he has to walk from the class to class.
Mm-hmm. So what's
Yeah,
the
because
emotion? What's the emotion that you
he
caught?
just the emotion is that like we just need to bring all the books and the Lady was telling to him like you just put the book in the locker, but he was telling him to the Mary like
Juggle my
all the
books.
books.
Yeah, he used this term, right?
Yeah,
Because juggle my books
yeah,
and my umbrella. All right, that was an expression used by him. Good. Okay. So well done. And Husam, buddy, two emotive expressions. Any dialogue where the emotion was conveyed. Are you clear what exactly is the emotive expression? If not, ask Husam.
yeah. I know the emotion, but
Yeah.
the dialogue I don't have. Like I didn't receive it yet, so
Ah, okay.
I
You were
can't
listening
remember.
though. What I'm gonna do? Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna re-forward this email, or maybe okay, Isha wouldn't be having your that. Wait, I'll just do it for you. But while listening, Husam, any emotive expression that you caught, buddy? You were listening, right? So while listening, is there anything that caught your attention in terms of emotions, in terms of a dialogue, Husam, where some sort of emotion was involved? Something like what Vikas mentioned, two, three examples he gave us. I have emailed you now, Husam. You can also refresh your email and find the script. But I'll try to help you, okay? So if we just go by step, there was this second emotion, which was also a question. Who would have thought? Okay, in the script it's there. So I don't know it was Ron or the other one, but this was mentioned. Okay, then there is another hit me by surprise. Hit me by surprise, right? That is another emotion, right? Hit me by surprise. Isha, your what all you were of course reading, but what can you add on further for Husam?
Where Mary is saying, brace yourself for the race is
Brace
going
oneself
very
for.
dangerous.
Very good. Brace oneself for. Okay. And something more than that, Isha?
I think they are like not happy. I think was going.
Mm-hmm.
They are all.
Yes, Husam, you take it, buddy, please.
Yeah, it's like here the Ron is like it's going to be miserable.
Going
That's
to be
what like
miserable.
it was.
Yes. Miserable. Yes. That is an
Yeah,
emotion. Correct. Absolutely. Is a long way from. Okay, you can read in the script. It's mentioned is a
yeah,
long way from. That is also conveying an emotion, right? Long way, it is something of the future. A long way. Okay. There is a
yeah.
slim chance. Another one that you can see. There is a slim chance. Husam, what do you understand if I put forward this expression? There is a slim chance. What do you mean? What do you understand with it? Comprehend with it?
Still I'm reading. So
Mm-hmm. Okay. Ramni, in the meanwhile, you haven't made anything, any part that comes to your mind?
So they were happy that it rained also because it was dry for the weather,
Okay.
dry for the season.
Mm-hmm.
And but at the same time, he was thankful also that he stayed in California because the week was very dry and it's important for them to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Desires there. When he said that I am wishing um, for that I could be there in an area where it was snow. So he was wishing for it. Desire was there.
Desire was there. Okay. Fair enough. There is this very good expression that I noticed. Okay. I haven't yet heard, but if any one of you is able to figure out, it starts with B. Be something, be off. There is this word,
Better off.
better
Better
off.
off.
Be better off. Okay, what do you understand by that, Isha? If I say be better off,
You're right. We are better off means we are in, like slowly only so then they are better off.
better off with it.
Without
They're
it, we won't have
happy without it.
without
Okay, if I just put it in
happy
English
without.
language, they're happy without it. All right, so that's a very good emotive expression that should have been noticed. But anyway, all right,
Okay.
fair deal until now. Okay, they will also, yeah, please.
Very little. Very
Minuscule, minuscule, little chance. Yes, it was there. I did notice it too. It was there. Although it's not in my list.
There is this thing pencil bites at me.
Yeah, there was this thing last year. It would be fun. It would be fun, right? So that is also an emotive expression. So
Yeah.
many a times, folks, when you're doing your self-pip exam and you get those videos, okay, and you have to identify. This is why I'm doing this practice, because it's a little off-track practice than just your exam. But once you start identifying, Husam, if you see at this point, buddy, if you start identifying those emotions, Husam, your listening capacity is increasing. Okay, it's not just your speaking capacity, it's your listening capacity which is being increased. And especially if you can catch hold of all these emotions, because in videos a lot of that is involved, Husam. And there is just one video task, but there are other tasks where people are speaking for a prolonged period of time, just like this dialogue, right? 2 minutes, 3 minutes, somebody is speaking a dialogue between one and two persons. So keep your mind on what could be an emotive expression. Even if it is wrong, in the next session we'll try to at least have 3 4 5 emotive expressions from you. Okay, it will be a good idea for you to dwell more into it. But until now,
So, in
cool.
reality, how many emotive expressions we were able to? I guess I am able to write about 10.
11, 12, 13, 14, 16 is what I've written in the sheet that I could identify. There could be more. There would be more, one or two what you mentioned, I haven't mentioned it on my list. So there would be 17, 18 emotive expressions in this little dialogue. Okay.
Wow. 11 and okay.
I'll be sharing the answer sheet via emails for this. Okay.
Sure.
So
Okay.
you will have that. But it's anyway good, right? So when we keep track of it, it's always good. Keep track of emotive expressions always.
Yeah.
It will help you in your listening. But all cool. Let's move to the next task now, folks. Good to go?
Yeah.
All right. Fair deal. So we're going to go now and look at the questions. So let's start with Vikas again. Vikas, was it cold last night? Again, just to clear the air again, folks, this is small answers, so I don't want you to speak prolong on this, okay? That we're going to do after another next 10 minutes from now. But here, try and give me one liners. Try and give me very concise, very precise answers to what exactly is being asked. Okay? Ready to go, Vikas?
Yeah.
Any doubts? Any issues?
No, like yesterday night, hello?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you, Vikas. You're audible.
Yes, yesterday was a 35 Fahrenheit, so which is because it was not cold.
Good. That's what I
It
want.
was cold.
Yes, that's what I want, Vikas. Okay, good. Stick line and being very precise with these answers. All right, next one for you, Husam. Was it hot yesterday? Try and refer on the script if you can.
Yeah, I'm searching for that.
Okay.
It was hot because the temperature was 35 degrees Fahrenheit.
Great. Okay, that's what I want. Good, Husam. Okay. Next one for you, Isha. Was it very windy when you went to the store? Okay, then you can just make up something around that. Maybe there's a. This is why inference would be involved, Isha. There would be some other word apart from the store mentioned. Okay. So if you're not able to catch that, make it up. All right.
Yes, it was windy when I went.
Okay. A little more than that. Okay. But okay, fine. Fair deal for now. Next one for you, Ramneet. What did the news say?
You said around noon this will start and it will rain heavily around 3 o'clock. By 3 o'clock.
Okay. Instead, if you would have said news mentioned, Ramni, this is what I'm expecting from you. Okay. You're preparing for a high level. So don't use similar words from the prompt. Okay. This is also a random check going on, right? Whenever you
Yeah.
get a question, this is how your mind should be working. Always look for say, said
Yeah.
versus mention. Okay, it's the same meaning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, good. So next round again, Vikas, for you. Sorry, where is it gone? Yeah. How will it be during the weekend?
Oh, it will be during.
Sorry, Vikas, if you weren't audible, can you please repeat?
So what's the question?
All right, I'm going to
How
repeat
will
the
it
question again. But it says, how will it be during the weekend, Vikas?
during a weekend? The the weather was very pleasant and it's sunshine.
Okay, so the weather will be very pleasant and we have a blissful sunshine. Okay, full
Yeah.
stop. That's it. All right, good. You'll get aligned to this, folks. It's a bit, you're performing much better than the previous session, and the next session you will be much, much better in this. Okay, this is how it always happens. So don't bother too much. The main intention is you should answer something. Okay, is it humid in California, Husam?
It's cold and early.
Yes. So you can say yes. It's a bit cold these days
It's
in our city.
uh,
Okay,
yeah, yes, it's bit cold in our city.
our city. Good. Okay, so we go next. Is it going to be warm tonight, Isha?
I don't it will drizzle like
Okay, fair deal. And the last one, Ramneet, will be for you. How will it be tomorrow? How will the weather be for tomorrow?
it will be same as today, it will be foggy and windy. Also, a bit of rain in the afternoon.
Very good. Okay, cool. So we're done with the short answers here, folks. Now we go to the next task. Okay, so now this is more like your 30-second, sorry, 60-second task in your self-pep exam. Okay, where you got to speak for at least 60 seconds. Again, we're not timing this because we do the timing task with the original sets. Here, whenever you're speaking something, just maybe you can just watch your the timer on your screen when you're speaking, but try to speak for around 40 to 60 seconds. Okay, nothing lesser than 40 seconds. Try and elongate yourself and try and use indicators in this in specific. So we'll reverse the parties here. Ramnit, we'll start with you first again. Okay, comprehension review. I'm just going to read aloud the question for you again. It's elaborate. Number one, explain and conclude the discussion with an appropriate closing remark. So this is very much similar to the rating checklist that you have, and also
Yeah.
how you got to answer your self-pip tasks. Okay, they should be indicators. They should be a end task. Also, just how you end the general tasks there. Okay, here the topics are very haphazard. That's the only reason. Ramneet, good to
Yeah.
go?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's a rapid fire happening again. How was the weather this morning, Ramneet?
So weather was freezing cold. Daddy even was not able to come out of her bed. And till yesterday, it was hot, but there was suddenly change in the weather in the night, and that led to the frost on her windshield. Should I be saying all this? I mean,
Yes, yes. Good to go. Yes, yes. You're fine to make up also here. Okay, because the scripts are
okay,
haphazard. So
okay. So it was there was a frost on her windshield also. Um, there was a sudden change in the weather, which surprised everyone.
instead of using the word also, as well would have been better,
As well.
Ramneet. Okay,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you're
yeah.
saying something after. So also is when you're
After.
joining or something of that sort. All right. So
Correct. Yeah.
otherwise good. Okay, but a little more prolonged is what I want now. Okay, little more prolonged force.
I got it. Yeah.
So even if you are not speaking exact, so Husam, okay, especially for you, buddy, because you're getting lost in this, right? So what I want you to do here is, even if you're not exactly answering as per the script, it's fine, but you must go a little prolonged and anything which makes common sense. Okay, that is what I'm looking for. Just common sense answers which are logical and we can follow. They use indicators. They also have a task fulfillment towards the end. just how your self-pip tasks are. Okay, we do the regular practice. We've all done a lot of that together, right? So, okay, Husam, you got what I'm trying to say, buddy? Okay, a smile on your face would solve a lot of problem. Yes. Okay, good. So anyway, we are now on Isha. Isha, the question for you is, what happened to Maddie's car, Isha?
Um, when we woke up this morning, Mary's car windshield was covered with frost, and she had to spray it with water before it.
Okay, a little more, go a little more. Yeah.
And she was annoyed also, and she was pleased. She had to clean the car, and then that's how she was not happy.
Okay, fair deal. Okay, but if you could have used indicators, Isha, initially, the mind map would have been clear, right? So I'm sure you've heard me saying this so many times: mind map, mind map, mind map, mind map, right? I keep on repeating that. But what I mean by that, right? Mind map is this thing, Isha, what you were doing while you were speaking. If you had a mind map before, then I'm going to talk about two things: one this, second this, and finally you just summarize it with a appropriate closing remark. So then your fulfillment would be very good. But fair.
And then initially, when she woke up early in the morning, her car was covered with frost, and then she had to spray it with water, and then secondly or third.
Yeah, there were two things that happened when Mary woke up this morning. Firstly, to begin with, her car was completely covered with snow. Second, blah blah blah. Okay, and then towards the end, and I hope Mary's able to whatever fulfillment you can give a closing remark also. Follow the structure. Okay, there is a structure that you all know now, so try and follow that through. Good, Isha. So, because your chance now, buddy. What did Mary do to her car?
So when she woke up in the morning and the windshield is totally frozen, and she just bring the shovel and she just bring the scraper and she just remove the ice which is stuck on the windshield, and she just put some hot water and turn on the heater inside the car, and she just put the hot water and remove the ice from the car.
All right. And a little closing that you can also give. Try and give a closing, even you've stopped, but try and give a closing remark also. What can you think of?
Yeah, I think like once all the ice removed from the windshield and she went to she's gone for the work.
Okay. All right. Given. Okay. But one thing here, because you use this word very often in this particular task. Do you remember? Do you recall what you said? What is the two words actually they are, but you've been repeating them 6 times. We have a recording of this video available, right? So at least 4 to 6 times it was. I think it was six or more. 4 times I noted it down. So
Like,
no, something more. She just. Okay. So
okay,
so when you're trying to put this, always have replacements for this available. Okay, you will have the video access to you, because listen to it later. Okay, listen to how you were speaking on this task. And whenever these words, why I say that, and I'm able to figure it out, is because when you're listening, and specifically when you're listening to identify your speech, in terms of your all the different rating parameters as we do, because we're able to identify these little things. Okay, so keep note of it. You always start around so. I've noticed that. Okay, Isha does put in basically when she speaks. So so as I mentioned, right, while speaking this, it comes naturally. It is a very natural thing. But if you can control it in your speech, and especially in those recording times, those 60-90 seconds that we have, it's just 60-90 seconds. Imagine, it's too less. Okay, But if you're really focused, concentrated in your speech at that point of time, it's going to add value. It's going to show, your result is going to show that. But anyway, good, Vikas. We come back to you, Husam. What was the temperature when Mary woke up, Husam?
It was like it was when I, when Malaysia woke up, it was like 35 degrees Fahrenheit.
Add on. I know you can do this. We've had long conversations, Husam. I know you can speak very well. Okay, so
Talking
just
about myself or Mary. So,
okay. Talk about how is the temperature today at your place, Husam?
uh, last night when I was last night when I just jumped to the bed, the temperature is minus 3 here, and then little bit of snow. So in the morning when I wake up, when I woke up in this morning, I just get temperature like above 7. So I got surprised because the weather was warm and okay. So,
Very good. Okay, claps
yeah.
for you. And
Yeah,
and actually, let's clap everybody. For Husam, Isha, Ramneet. Okay, this is what we want, Husam. Okay, this is what we want from you. I know you can speak well. You've already got a grade 7. I'm gonna push you to 9, and I'm gonna make you achieve that. Okay, and you're gonna do that, and you can do it. And the only thing is that you get lost in a thing called discourse, Husam. I haven't talked to you about it until now, but when we connect on the one-to-one session, maybe for listening or the other parts, I will mention about discourse and how that plays a big major role. So, did you notice yourself, when I give you a question, let's say talk about marry, you're just getting stuck with one line. But if you have to talk about your own personal situation, you're able to speak it well through, jump on the bed, you're putting the right expressions, you're putting idioms. What better? Hussam, okay? So, this is cool, this is what we need from you even when you're attempting your tasks. This is how we want you to answer your tasks, okay? But we'll have one more quick round for this, and then we'll go to the last part of this, okay? So, where was I? Yeah, I was here. So, what did Mary do to her car? Okay, let's maybe do something else. What will it be in the afternoon, Ramneet?
so in the afternoon, it will rain, and it will rain throughout the week. Fortunately, there will be no thundering and lightning, and that's the best part of the California weather. Um, that there is always just hot but not humid. Can I use the words?
Yes, yes.
That's hot but not humid. It rains but no thundering. And it's not always cold as compared to the other states.
Okay, fair deal. A closing, something that you can think of closing also on this? So, in a nutshell,
That's
summarize it, in some way. Yeah.
the beauty of the California weather. Something.
So, in a nutshell, this
That's
is how
basically
that's avoid the
nice.
word basically, yeah. But in a nutshell, this is how California's weather is on an average. Okay,
Yeah.
that's it. Just a nice closing to it too. And I don't know why when you were saying so, this is English joke. I don't know if you've heard this. There's always room for improvement. Okay, today's World English Day, right?
Yeah.
So there's this English joke that I can crack. There's always room for improvement, right? So whenever, even if you're really proficient, even if you're really good, even if you're really learned, even if you're Shashi Tharoor in English, there's always room for improvement. So
Yeah.
when Ramneet was
I think
mentioning
it
room,
does.
sorry, Isha?
For not for you. I think it goes for every this
Yes, yes. In general, yes.
goes for that.
The analogy, right? This analogy that we have: learn, unlearn, relearn, right? Learn, unlearn, relearn. That is, where I am really mostly found. And this is like a liminal space, this is like a small space. But then it's really good because you're always constantly creating something, you're always unlearning something that you don't want to learn. And then you're creating space for new things to learn. And this is how learning is. It's not about teaching, it's about you learning, and you create by unlearning. Okay, we'll move ahead. Okay, because time is going quick. So Vikas, oh sorry, Isha, how is the weather until the weekend, Isha?
I think there is a slim chance of sunshine by Saturday. However, it will be foggy, windy, and rainy for the south this week. And it will be pretty good. Weather will be pretty good and nice, and will enjoy our weekend.
Okay. If you want to just go a little above, I want you to avoid using words like nice and all, Isha. Okay. If you want to go above a proficient level of English, very good, very nice. I'm going to make a video also on this, but try and avoid these words. Okay. These are basic words. Now that you're in our sessions, you've been doing these sessions, I want you to work your vocabulary out. Okay. And your health is also better now, Isha. So you're going to write your vocabulary journal. That's going to help you. All right, well done, Isha. So next question for you, Vikas. How is the weather until the weekend, Vikas?
Yeah, so the weather so on the weekend, the weather is very rainy and it's glitchy and all. And, background, wrong, right? Yeah, so wrong doesn't like that weather. And
Carry on. Think of something.
he was talking to Mary just regarding the winter season. And yeah, that's I know.
Okay. So one thing here. This time you didn't start with so. You started with yeah. All right. And so there was a big change. But what I mean to say here, because whenever you're starting, okay, there is maybe something in your head. Okay, you're thinking before you speak. I want you to reach a level where you're not thinking before you speak. This will automatically go away. And these using words like yeah, right, when you're trying to take reaffirmations, we must avoid it. Okay, let's try not to take reaffirmations, especially when we're answering tasks. If you're talking in general, that's a separate game, because but for task fulfillment purposes, try and avoid that. Okay,
Okay.
otherwise it was cool. Okay, it was a fair one. And the last one here.
Try it the next time, like use the moreover and however.
Yes, exactly. Okay, use the correct transitions and conjunctions in between. You're getting what I'm trying to say. That is what I want, Vikas. But until now, everybody's done well. Husam, we are back to you. Okay, let's seize this task with you. So again, if you're not able to think of the exact thing, I want you to go personal and just speak well in English for next 30-35 seconds. Okay, relevant to the question. And the question for you, let me think of something which you can. When will? Okay, no. How will it be during the coming weekend, Husam? How will the weather be during this coming weekend? How will the weather be this coming weekend? Take another 20 seconds to pause. Okay, no rush. Take 20 seconds to pause. I know you will do well. No, just the weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
snowing, and then it will be minus 7 for Sunday, for Saturday, and then it will be below -5 on Sunday. So people like staying at home, uh, and then it will be as I don't know, snow on Sunday.
Okay. Think of a closing remark. You're doing well, Husam. There is nothing wrong in your speech in terms of video presenting. There are repetitions, but we will work on it. But think of a closing remark. How can you close this task? Let's talk about that.
Uh, just
Think. I was when I was taking my training, Husam, with one of my mentor, he asked me to get a hat. And it's funny, okay, because when they ask you to get a hat, you start thinking all wondrous things. What are you going to do with a hat? Think sitting in front of a computer. But it was a way, what he wanted me to do was he made me wear that hat, okay, and he said, now your thinking hat is on, so now you have to think. So think when you have your hat on. All right, so imagine you have a hat on your face, on your head, sorry.
that's okay.
Yeah.
Uh, During the weekend, the weather will be changed from +7 to -5 here in Alberta, especially at Saturday, and then after that will be up -10 on Sunday. So we'll be fogging rain, snow, and then the weather will be miserable. So the weather will be miserable, and then because now the situation of COVID and people like will not be happy. So I think people staying at home and then get on about it's a lot of snow on this weekend. Anyway, I hope like the weather will change on those days, and then we'll be go outside and enjoy that.
See, this is good, Husam. Now you've put in an appropriate closing remark, right? Isn't it good? While you spoke that itself, it's easy to follow. Ramnit, how was this response by Husam?
Yeah,
Were you able to follow him?
definitely, yeah, very well. Like he
Yeah.
was relating to the conditions around, and
Exactly.
it was much more realistic and specific.
Exactly. So specific with a very nice closing remark, Husam. Okay. This is what
Yeah,
you didn't mention in your previous one, but now you did.
it is.
Right? So
Thank you so much, guys.
absolutely, this is what you need to do, buddy. Get that level of confidence when you're speaking, Husam. It's about confidence sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we move to the next task, although we are a little short in time, but we'll keep on going for the next 10-15 minutes. So please bear with me. Grammar review based on the conversation. Nouns, verbs, adjectives. Any nouns, verbs, adjectives that were identified, like common nouns, proper nouns.
So in name place thing will be now. So the places which are mentioned over here,
Yeah.
California,
Yeah.
or
Give me some examples. Give me some examples to it.
okay.
For
And adjective would be that like miserable.
yes, good. Isha's base is very strong, so Isha knows this. Her school has forfeited this benefit to Isha. So Isha, yes.
And,
Husam and Vikas, you also think maybe if you do you folks have a hat at home? Husam and Vikas, and you do?
so like
You
this
have?
says also the end.
Okay, so maybe what we're gonna do, just randomly while Husam was saying it, struck my mind. So next session that we connect on Monday, get your hats on. We'll all be with our hats. Okay, and then
Okay.
whenever thinking is needed, we'll put our hat. I'll ask you to keep your hats on so that you can think while that time.
Sam is looking fat. Yeah.
Yes. Husam usually wears that. I've noticed, Husam is usually wearing that.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, what I'm going to do, I have a little theory on this. Okay, so I will share that answer sheet with you. It's a 4-pager. here I've clearly mentioned all the examples. All, there are different kinds of nouns and adjectives that I could identify. I've given them
Yeah.
with examples, plus I've mentioned them in with exceptions also. Okay, so there are common nouns which are used to refer people, animals, things, and specific places in general, folks. And then there are also proper nouns that are used to name specific person, people, as I already said, and they're always capitalized. Okay, so Mary, Aspen, California, for example,
Colorado.
Colorado, right? These are proper nouns which are capitalized always. Okay, so proper nouns have this capitalization. Many people ask, right, what to capitalize, what not to capitalize. So this solves. This is the most comprehensive exercise, folks, that I figured out. It takes a little to please, please,
English classroom. My English teacher.
because they are because it's maybe they're displaying that as a proper noun. Okay, maybe there is a they want that to be the subject line of it. Okay, there could be, so in English there are, there are rules after rules after rules, but there are eventually no rules, right? This. So whenever we do this exercise, it takes me one or two sessions with people. Like, this is the second session with you, just the second section on this new front. But how was the feedback? Let's quickly talk about the feedback, and then we'll go to the idioms part. How you liking this? Is it some part that I can change? Because unless I don't hear it from you, it's difficult for me to understand, if everything is in line or not. So a quick, you know 10 seconds, whatever, anything that I can change, for example.
Where we can learn. I think it's apart from the normal models. Theory.
Yeah, this is different. This is very comprehensive, Isha. This is what I like about this exercise. It takes time always. I've seen this, I've done this last year also. It gets a little difficult for people in the first and the second session, but third sessions are more fun always. And then, we stop after four sessions. We don't really need it. But eventually, any other thing, Vikas? Do you think you want to add something to this? You're liking it, you're not liking it, there's some change that you want to recommend? Okay. Okay. No, no, there is a chance. You have that chance. I'm giving you the flexibility. We're not like the governments, Vikas. Okay. Just kidding. Hussam, anything from you, buddy?
Actually, like I want to say thank you so much for like to give the confidence because last time I didn't understand what you're talking about, like the like the questions and everything, and then today the session when it starts, I didn't understand what like how to answer, but after
Right.
like a few minutes, and then I get confidence from you, and then I start answering. So I like it so much, just like to get the confidence how to answer the question.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Hussam. You will do well. We will get you on a
Yeah.
9. You will show results soon. Ramneet, anything from you?
Absolutely right.
Okay.
It covers all the parts of the exam.
Yeah, that's the best part. It covers all the four
That's
parts.
the best part. We are learning new words, we are learning idioms, we are working on the pronunciation, we are working on so many things at one time. Multitasking and
Absolutely.
specifically, I told you the very first day that when even in my listening, I do stuff at the emotive expressions, and here we are doing that.
Right. Right. See,
So
Ramneet,
it does take care of all the things which are needed in the sector exam.
all right, great. But if anything strikes your mind, even a chord at a later stage as well, please do let me know, because your feedback is the most important to me. All right, and once I get to know that if any lesson has to make sense, it has to make sense to you folks, who are in this session with me. So if you're able to find some points where something could change, again, I've tried to make it. Sometimes these sessions go long. That's the only disadvantage. But if we go each and every question, this time also we skipped a couple of questions. I didn't go all the questions, but if
Yeah.
you go with all the questions, it will get prolonged to 1 hour 30 minutes also. I don't mind that, but then again, it gets, concentration is also limited, folks, right? Let's accept we are humans. Everything is, restricted with us. So at times, if the sessions are too long, it just gets boring, which I don't want. I want it to be fun. That's my only objective of doing this. But we'll come to the task 5 part of it too, which is any idioms that you could identify in this.
Yeah. Brace yourself, blanket of pure water install.
Very
Sure.
good.
Multitasking, juggling between two words.
Very good. Okay. Anything else?
Slim chance of sunshine. Can we put that?
Sorry, what one, Ramnit?
Slim chance
Slim
as a
chance of sunshine.
collocation.
Slim chance as a collocation. Good. Yes, it would be on a collocative experiment. A slim chance. There is
Yeah.
a slim
Dry
chance.
season. Dry season as a collocation.
Dry
Adjective
season.
plus.
Yeah, that's an adjective plus noun one. Yes, that could be an.
Yeah.
All right, but there is this 6 stars that I had given. Okay, let's do that because it's more
Yeah.
fun. Good. And any other thing which collocation, Husam, you and Vikas should also start thinking of how Ramneet is at this point, right? She's always
Yeah.
thinking now on those collocations, on those words that she can combine together and they give you a more natural. You remember, Husam, what are collocations? We've done this session with you, but what are collocations?
Yeah. It's like
Co-located words. Co-located. Collocation.
actually I read it so many times. Sorry, just not remember. I
Mm-hmm.
just like have this book and
Okay. You have the collocations
I don't
dictionary.
know how to. I read it so many times, but I want to answer you what's the collocation and to explain. I don't know. So sorry
Okay.
about that.
It's just remember this, okay? Yeah, sorry, Isha, please.
It's combination of two words they get this.
There are 6 kinds of
Anything.
collocations. We've done this.
That's it.
With Isha
One
also, we've
word
done
or
this.
word saying. Yeah.
Yes.
So what I think, what I was doing till
Please.
now, or I'm planning to do, is like whenever Zen is telling me to write a vocab journal, so I'm making a paragraph of like 2 or 3 words,
Right.
a new word, and then I always try to add one or two these idioms, either a collocation or a proverb or something, anything of an idiom. So that will help in when we are talking naturally, so that it starts coming up to me naturally. Because otherwise it doesn't come up. Even if I'm talking to you and you know, juggling between two words is so common, but then also we do not use on a if we do not use on a regular basis, it will not come to our mind. We will be stuck with multitasking. So that's what I thought that if I add in the vocab journal when I'm writing the paragraph, it will help.
Absolutely. It will help. But I will give you a little idea. One thing that I think you folks know again, and all of you know this, okay? All 4 of you know this. But maybe you haven't thought about that. And I'm making a video also on this very soon with, with somebody.
Okay.
So there is this part of active and passive vocabulary. Have you thought on that? There
Yeah.
is active and passive vocabulary. What
Yeah.
is
Active passive.
what is passive vocabulary?
Yeah.
Husam, what is passive vocabulary?
Sure.
First beginning with you, Husam. What is passive? Think, think, think. Put your thinking hat on. Sorry, Isha?
So it's like Isha. No, it's just like Isha said me.
Okay.
Isha said me
Yeah.
that there is room for improvement. So that will be like columns. That I'm stating what she is saying in the exact similar way. Active is like hello.
Yes, yes, Ramneet, you're audible. You're very well audible, please. Today your internet is good. Yeah. What is active vocabulary, Ramneet?
It's it's
May-
like
yeah.
what
Please, please, Husam, you take the lead. Yeah.
it's like refer to word that you don't understand but you are not able to use, just like that.
Okay. So just listen here. I think Ramneet, if you're still not connected, just disconnect and connect again, or check your connection because we can't hear you now. But active and passive, Husam. Active is the words which you generally use, okay, which you can use while you're speaking or while you're writing. But passive vocabulary is that maybe if somebody, you watch on a TV, some star, okay, you watch something on a documentary, somebody's seeing that, speaking that, but you recognize what they're saying, but you don't know, maybe you can't pronounce the word, maybe you can't write that word. Okay, that is your passive vocabulary. And in a visualization state, your passive circle is bigger. Okay, your passive vocabulary is always bigger than your active vocabulary. Your active vocabulary is smaller. Okay, it's like this much, but your passive vocabulary is like this big. Okay, and especially when you hear something, you know what it means, right, Isha? This must have happened with you. You can make sense of it. How can you make sense? You even know you don't use it, you don't write it. How do you do that? You do that because it's a part of your passive
You
vocabulary.
heard.
Okay, so active vocabulary you can develop by you
Like,
converting that. Please, Isha, yes.
yeah, sometimes we hear also these words very difficult words, but we know the meaning of the what it means. We are not able to use in day-to-day conversation.
Correct. Those are your passive words. Okay, so we're going to do some tips and tricks around how to recognize those words and use them in your speaking and your writing abilities also. Okay, it's gonna benefit you immensely, but keep on doing that journal work. Otherwise, if you haven't done, if the base is not set, we cannot rise higher. Okay, so your base needs to be set. That is very very crucial. Unless your base is not set, you will not be able to develop a solid building. It's just common sense. Okay, all right, so let's do a last part of it. Let's see if we can quickly also work on this paragraph that you can see. There are 8 idioms in this. Because there is some background noise, buddy, from your end. Yes, buddy. It seems like. Is it? Okay. All right. No problem. So now it's fine. But again, the noise is coming. Yeah. Okay. Now it's gone. Okay. Because you can unmute yourself, when you want to speak for sure. And the last 5 minutes of this. So what we're going to do this, you just read the little passage again. Okay. The one that you have from Mark until since. All of you. Okay, let's quickly read this passage, a small passage, nothing difficult to do. And I'm also going to share it on the screen if I can. I don't know if I can. Maybe I can. Here. Here it's on the screen as well, okay, if it's easy for you.
So all the people, all of them speak at the same time or one by one?
No, you just read the passage for now. Just read. We'll go one by one. Yeah. Try and identify idioms in this. There are idioms in this. And just in this short paragraph, there are 8 idioms, to give you an exact number. So I want two idioms from
Yeah.
each of you. Okay. We'll start in manner, but at least identify 2 idioms. But you can identify all the 8 idioms, nothing better.
I did.
Okay. So I'm gonna put at last. Ramit.
Yeah, that that is good. Actually, no. A day before you told me to, I was writing upon one. The writing task was there, no?
Yeah.
So I had gone through the fitness idioms, ordinary idioms
Okay.
somehow.
Okay.
So I knew it.
Okay.
And I have used one or two in the
Yes,
previous
yes. We've
responses.
done your corrections too.
Right.
So although I'll connect with you, post this call, I'll take a 10 minutes break and
Okay.
then I'll give you a call if you're free. I was just a little confused around the samples that I've received because according to us, we've done all the corrections, but I'll just cross check with
No,
you, okay?
then you were right. You were right. I when I received your mail,
Yeah.
I just saw the last one.
Ah, okay.
And today I have sent you one more response.
Today is a different one, but before today,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
were.
yeah. Before today, all were there, and then
Ah,
I felt so bad.
no
I
problem. Nothing to
deleted
feel
that
bad
one.
of. Nothing to feel bad of. But I got confused. I
Okay.
was like, did I really miss? Because that never happens. Even Vikas,
That never happened.
that never happened with me.
Yeah, but
I
then I
never
thought
miss.
that I will always give you one by one, one by one.
Yes, that is a
If I'm
better
writing
way.
one document,
Absolutely, absolutely. But I don't miss on, for sure. I have missed some
You
things
have
from
not.
Vikas
No, no,
before.
you have not at all. You have not. It was my at my end
No
continuously. So
problem at
you
all,
was
Ramli.
not.
That's completely fine. I was just wanting to reach on the same page with you. I was thinking maybe, I'm a human, right? It's possible for me to make errors. So
You were right. I was wrong. No, so I had to tell you
it's
this.
not about that. It's neti neti. Not this, not that.
Not this, not that.
Right. Okay. Because did you recall I shared a lot of emails, once in the night I must have responded to you a lot of emails, right? 5, 6 emails I responded, which I had missed. So were you wondering anything? What happened to this guy? Why is he emailing me so much?
Entrepreneur. Yeah, you were sending the email,
Yeah, I'd missed those. I didn't even figure out. So I'd marked them at start, but because that time was so busy, there was I think 4 batches that was going in parallel. So I missed a couple of your recordings. But
I was surprised. Like first, you just booked the session on my Outlook email, then you just canceled the session, and
yeah,
like the tomorrow class is cancelled now. And after that, you just asked me that Gmail email, so I just.
yeah.
No, I was surprised Zan did not sleep whole night. He was making corrections, and in the morning he just started making everybody.
Now I'm accustomed, because I'm dealing with so many time zones, folks. That's the reason, right?
Yeah.
There are some people in UK, there is somebody in Australia, there's somebody in US, there's somebody in Canada. I'm in India, so I'm juggling between time zones. And then there are some people who join from Philippines, there are some people who join from Dubai, and then I'm like even more confused at the end. I'm like,
Sometimes
whoa.
I saw your message at the cycle group, like you just send a message on early in the morning at 5 to 6. I was thinking like, what time you gonna sleep?
These days, because I'm sleeping a bit late, because we have those fasts also going on, right? So we eat
Okay.
early morning, like 3:34. We have to finish our eating stuff, and then we
So
do.
sorry. So tomorrow at what time we have a session for the you
uh,
just sent out
yes, the listening
the
part,
group
right?
session only.
The
No,
listening.
not the listening one, like the lawyer, like, the immigration lawyer.
The
You just sent
immigration
it
one.
now.
Yeah, so that is 11 p.m. in the night, ist, 11 p.m. ist, with the immigration consultant. Shoot in your questions, because Isha, Husam, Ramneet, whoever is even watching us live, if there's anybody still there, let us know. There would be it would be nice to have your questions handy, because we can get them covered first, okay, when we start the session. So just email them to me, okay.
Okay.
All right. So all of you have read the paragraph, this short paragraph? All done? Okay. We'll start with Husam first in this. Husam, two idioms, just two idioms from you.
From the topic.
From the topic, yes, from this paragraph, starting from Mark had been. What are the first two idioms that you can identify? Let's go in order so that everybody can follow.
Like warm up. No.
No. Start with the first. There's something around weather. I'm giving you a hint. It's right in the first line.
And feel under the weather for a week.
Yes, feeling under the weather. Okay, that's the idiom. What does it mean if I say, Husam, right now I'm feeling under the weather. I might not be able to take the session. What does it mean?
Uh, the weather was like miserable. Not really good. Not
No.
feeling good.
Yes. Ramneet has answered it, right? You're not feeling well. You're not feeling in the best of your health. I'm feeling under the weather. Okay.
Okay.
So that's the one. All right. Any other, Husam? One more from you? I'll give you a hint again, Hussam. This time the keyword is death. There is something with that. That's an idiom.
Yeah,
Just tell me
did
the
one.
correct idiom. Yeah, the exact idiom.
Did did one up or one up.
Yeah. So the idiom here is, Hussam, looking like. Oh, sorry, I'll open it. Looking like. Where is it? Looking like death warmed up. Okay. That's also an idiom, idiomatic expression. All right, good. So you will learn new idioms this way. Hussam. Okay, this is the right way to learn new idioms. We go next to you, Isha. Two more idioms post this two which you've covered.
Recharge his batteries.
Yes. Okay.
And
Like you've recharged your batteries while sleeping, you know. So you've recharged your batteries. 21 hours of sleep.
I'm thinking all the time nowadays for these medicines. I'm feeling sleepy all the time.
Sorry, just kidding, you know. But one more, yeah.
Second is felt of color. I
Off
think
color.
so.
Yes. Very good. Felt off color, right? You're losing the color. You're feeling your color is being shed off, fading off your color. Good. Next, we come to you, Vikas.
Okay, work as fit as a fiddle.
Okay, that's the last of the one, but I give it to you. Yes. Something in between of that is also there.
Yeah, there is a road to recover.
Road to recovery. What do you understand with the word road to recovery? There is a road to recovery. You read it here as well, right? He was on the road to recovery.
Yes. Road to recovery means like something is wrong and we just recover and we just correct it, something like that.
The situation in New Delhi is on a road to recovery, Vikas. Right? So, get the sense of it. After all this rise, things are falling back in place. Good. And the last two idioms, Ramneet.
He was on the bench.
Very good.
On the bench.
Yes.
He took that right as rain.
As right as rain. Very good. Can you help everybody know what do you mean by on the mend?
On the mend means kind of one is recovering from his ill
Changing
health.
from. Yes. There is a change, you know. There is. It could be about health. I think in this. So sometimes what happens, folks, idiomatic expressions, they're very important, you know, and you don't need to. This is an absurd example where I'm giving you eight idioms in a very. I'll stop the screen share. Where I'm giving you eight examples of idioms in a just a very short paragraph. That usually doesn't happen. Okay, it's just so that you can learn idioms quick. But even if you use one idiom or you use one collocative expression or nice phrasal model verb, that's going to add a lot of value. You don't have to do too much to do this. Okay, you have to do just less to make it possible. So with this, any questions from all of you? If not, we're good to wrap it up. See, it took us 1 hour 20 minutes in this one too. It's a 1.5 hour session, you know. Whenever you do this, it will be prolonged. But yeah, anything else that is on top of your mind, folks? Any other questions?
No.
All right. Husam, from you, buddy. Anything else on this?
I just want to thank you so much. I want just to know like when that next session. So.
So it's on Monday, Husam, and
Okay.
we're sticking around to the same time. Okay, we want you not to miss any speaking session. Okay, for the next 4 weeks, adjust your work. Okay, we've missed a lot of sessions before. This time, no way. Okay, you're
No
not
way.
missing
No
any
way.
session. No way.
No.
If you miss it, we lose track. Okay, we pump up, but then we lose track. So things flatten down again. The curve
I want.
should reach its zenith. All right,
Okay. Just one question from you. Just like
please.
every day, like when I just free, like I'm not on the class. So what? Just with like practice material.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have shared the credentials, right, for the practice material. So use from that again, and if that is all consumed, you let me know. I'll get you new practice material there.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. But I give you a little homework. We end this, but I was talking about zenith. Okay, there is this term called zenith, which means a thing which has gone to top will always fall down. But what do you call what something which has fallen down? Zenith is the top peak of it. What is the opposite of zenith? So this is a homework. Okay, you can whenever you get your time. Sorry, because deteriorate is a way to explain that, but there is a specific word after which the exact opposite of zenith. Zenith. Okay, Zenith. Zenith. So just do a little homework. Let me know the next time when we connect. And there are anyway new vocabulary words that were provided to you via emails. Okay. So write them down, folks. Please keep working on your vocabulary journal. It's going to benefit you immensely. But you will have to put in that effort. Okay. Nobody can do it for you. So please put in that effort. Okay. It'll be fun. So we'll catch you next time. Try and keep your hats if you have that. We'll put our hat, thinking hats when we have to think. Okay.
Okay.
All right,
Sure.
folks.
Okay.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Ramni, they'll call you in a bit. Okay.
Okay, guys.
Isha, Hussam, Ramni, thank you. Have a good time. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.